The most unbelievable TV show starts right now. It's Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Tonight, a Ripley's World exclusive. Never attempted anywhere. Mike Howard is moments from taking a step that could be his last. That's because Mike will try to walk across this flimsy plank, nearly 1 mile in the sky, without a net, chute, or safety line. If he fails, he pays with his life.
We ain't doing this more than once.
Kelly Packard is there for every nail-biting step as he attempts the walk of death in tonight's Ripley's Challenge. She's hip, she's sexy, she's on top of the modeling world, and she's 12?
When they saw my walk, they're like, wow, welcome to the runway division.
Now, watch what happens when she hits a star-studded fashion show. Even Kramer can't believe it.
Well, there you have it, only on Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Tonight's Ripley's Kid is on the runway. When Jesse Wickham fell off a second-story balcony, it seemed things couldn't get any worse. But they did. When Jessie got skewered through the chest by a steel pole, while she was 8.5 months pregnant. Plus, Ripley throws a beach party and invites the world's best sandcastle sculptor. Also, there's nothing Danny Way hasn't done on a skateboard. Now, see if he's got air big enough to take home the all-time distance record. And the Baltimore Ravens cheerleaders get ready to root on America's most unbelievable animal.
The most unbelievable animal is...
Only on Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Hello and welcome to Ripley's. Tonight we begin with the most dangerous demonstration of balance ever attempted. Mike Howard will walk between 2 hot air balloons in mid-flight on a piece of aluminum only 5 inches wide. Basically, if Mike slips off the beam, he dies. That's not an exaggeration, as you're about to see.
Hi, I'm Kelly Packard, coming to you from a launch site in Akron, Ohio. We're here on location with Mike Howard, a man who has an unreal obsession with flying. Welcome to Ripley's, Mike.
Good morning, Kelly.
It's good to have you here.
Thank you very much.
Now, today, Mike is going to attempt to set a Ripley's World Record and do something that has never been done before. Now, can you fill us in on what's going to be happening today?
We're going to tie 2 hot air balloons together, and then we're going to put a beam between these 2 hot air balloons, and then I'm going to attempt to walk between these 2 balloons on the beam without the aid of a parachute.
And about how high are we going to be?
We're going to be about 5,000 feet, which is just under a mile.
Now, are the balloon pilots a major factor in this?
The balloon pilots are probably one of the most critical factors in this. They have to keep the balloons steady and level when I'm walking across.
Have you worked with these pilots before?
I have. I've worked with them on other projects before, but I also have a very key person, my safety coordinator, Steve Davis, and he's probably the most important person here this morning.
Well, let's bring him on in. Steve, come on in. You've got the important job, I understand. Nice to meet you. Can you go ahead and tell, I know you've been here since the crack of dawn working on things, but can you tell us a little bit about what your preparations have been and what you're going to be concentrating on?
What I have been looking at is weather. One of the big factors this morning. We have some storms that are about 75 miles away with tops around 40,000 feet. And then I've also been paying a lot of attention to some equipment this morning. And we've been making sure that everything is just perfect.
Now, I understand you guys have a lot more work to do, so I'm going to let you get back to it while we learn a little bit more about Mike and his wild passion. When Mike Howard was just 8 years old, his father introduced him to flying, which would later become his lifelong obsession.
I was very fortunate to get my first balloon flight around about the age of 8, and that was it. I was hooked.
But Mike didn't stay inside the balloon for long.
The parachuting, the ballooning, the paragliding, but these are all things I go out and do and just enjoy doing.
Mike, along with his longtime safety coordinator and best friend Steve Davis, has even set a Ripley's World Record soaring over 18,000 feet in the air with only a bunch of 400 party balloons keeping him in the sky.
Balloons to helicopter. Are we at a height where you can hover yet?
but that doesn't even compare to the dangers involved in the stunt Mike is about to attempt on his own. Preparations have been underway for hours getting the balloons ready for liftoff. The 2 hot air balloons are now ready to be harnessed together. Then, a thin 20-foot beam is used to connect the balloon baskets, and this is where Mike will perform his death-defying skywalk. When climate and wind conditions are safe, Mike will step onto the beam and attempt to walk from one balloon to the other, without a parachute or safety line. His only safety device is this balance bar that the crew tethers to a cable. But even with the safety bar, if he falls, the outcome could be fatal.
The pilot's not keeping the balloons level, being hit by a wind gust that you're not expecting, and slipping. Those are the 3 things that could lead to a disaster.
Although the obstacles weigh heavily on Mike's mind, testing and retesting the stability of the beam and concentrating on the task at hand gives him the checks and balances he needs to succeed. Mike's partner Steve keeps a close watch on his best friend.
My obvious greatest concern is losing Mike. He's like a brother to me. Mike knows the risks, and Mike lives on the edge, and if he's not living on the edge, he's not happy.
The 2 balloon pilots must be perfectly in sync with each other. If one balloon drifts even inches higher than the other, the beam will become unstable and Mike will lose his balance.
You're swinging around, the view's changing, you're looking down 1 mile beneath you. That weighs very heavily. Your mortality is very much on your mind when you're doing that.
Although he seems to have nerves of steel, with the event only moments away, Mike does everything he can not to let his fear get the best of him.
Fear is what keeps you alive. Fear is what keeps you sharp, and 95% of it is in my mind.
All right, Mike, I've just got the forecast.
Okay.
What we're looking at is 75 miles away. We got some storms that aren't forecast to be there.
Okay.
So,
all right. Well, we've got the weather now, but we need to, as you say, go as soon as possible.
We do need to get this thing rolling.
With a rush against time and brewing bad weather, Steve and Mike prepare for takeoff.
Mike, you ready to go?
Absolutely. Get ready to go. So let's get in the basket and let's get this.
All right, let's do this.
Jump in. When I do this, I can't look down. I can't know how far it is down there because if I'm looking down, I'm not concentrating. It may as well be 10,000 feet, 18,000 feet, or 2 feet. It doesn't matter. What I have to focus on is that beam and that 20 feet. That's all I will see, the 20 feet in the beam.
Steve, how high are we about right now?
Kelly, we are just now passing through 2,500 feet. We're about halfway there.
We're only halfway?
That's right.
Oh
That's a long way down, isn't it?
How do you think Mike's doing?
Right now, Mike, I'm sure, is inside his own head, just
getting prepared and focused. And
yeah, because this is very mental.
Now, Steve, why are you putting on the parachute?
Well, not that it'll do much good, but in the event Mike does fall, I might have a chance to jump off and grab him.
Okay, it's a one-time event. We ain't doing this more than once.
Mike, are you ready?
Think so. Here we go.
Okay.
Without the bar.
Mike Howard makes a life and death decision, discarding his only safety device. Has this Skywalker made a deadly mistake?
He has decided not to use the balance bar.
With every step a potential slip. Don't miss the harrowing conclusion to Mike Howard's Walk of Death, coming up.
We'll go back out to Kelly a little bit later. Now, you are looking at what many in the world of modeling believe is the face of the future, a supermodel in the making. Her name is Garen Taylor, and what's unbelievable is that she is only 12 years old. And that's why she's tonight's Ripley's Kid. In the competitive world of the high fashion model, it starts with the look, and then experience can make or break a career. This fresh face has it all. She can walk the walk with seasoned pros.
You're wonderful.
And believe it or not, she's only 12 years old.
My other profession is that I'm a kid.
Growing up, Garen Taylor seemed like the average kid. She loved birthday parties, Girl Scouts, and playing with her Barbies.
Can you do a simple walk for me from the blue dot to the wooden log?
But there was something different about this California girl, because as she got older, her mother watched her daughter sprout taller and taller.
Well, you know, she's always been tall, very tall. She's always been the tallest in her class. And my mom would always tell her, you know, you're tall, but one day you're going to find out why you have that height.
At only 12 years old, her 5'11" stature caught the eye of a modeling representative who urged Garen's mother to enter her in a local contest. She won and went on to win the regional contest as well. The agency was so impressed with her that they immediately signed her, and she began working in their print division. With her cool composure and striking looks, Garen has even managed to fool some of the industry's top professionals into thinking that she's been in the fashion world for years.
First time I met Garen, we had booked her for a test. We had no idea she was 12 years old. She came into the studio and we thought that she was in her 18, 20 at least. Had no idea.
This 12-year-old's transformation is mesmerizing. At a photo shoot for acclaimed international designer Richard Tyler, Garen goes from playing with Barbies to being the picture-perfect Barbie.
The camera loves Garen. It's great. It's so easy to photograph her. It's something that's totally natural.
Photo shoots were exciting, but Garen's dream was to strut down the catwalk. Though she was only in the 7th grade, Garen wanted to become a prestigious runway model like her idol, Tyra Banks. But could this 12-year-old carry herself like a supermodel in front of critics and photographers?
They were concerned that I couldn't walk because of my age and how young I was. They were thinking I would have pigtails and body socks, and so when they saw my walk, they're like, wow, welcome to the runway division.
Garen walked for her, she blew her away. She said, oh, honey, you're coming with me. I can't believe this. And Garen hasn't looked back since.
But being so young does have its challenges. This middle school student has to balance homework with haute couture, limiting her jobs to 3 a month.
She knows that school is first. No school, no modeling. It's just, I won't tolerate it.
One of the thirdest, neatest things my mom had to do for me for my own good was cancel a show in New York that I had to do because my math grade had fallen.
Modeling has taught Garen how to bounce back in any situation, especially when tripping on her dress during a fashion show.
When I first tripped, I was like, oh my goodness, and then I tripped again, and I looked at the audience, and they were just staring at me like I was dumb or something.
As a mother, it's like I could feel her pain. I could feel it.
Everyone was silent in the audience, and just a beat later, she regained her composure, and it was amazing.
Beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Designer Monique Lullier selects this 12-year-old girl to model in her fashion show for a star-studded Hollywood event.
Fabulous. Aren't you excited? I know. It's like she has to be ready for a big career and them getting used to them following her every move.
So you're happy?
Gorgeous.
Half of Hollywood turns out for the Holly Rod Foundation's 5th annual Design Cure fundraiser, benefiting Parkinson's disease. Backstage before the show, Garen seems calm, cool, and collected.
Okay, so right now I'm about to take you through the steps of what really happens backstage, okay? So, follow me. Okay, so this is what I'm wearing. I'm wearing this little skirt and vest thing. I'm also wearing this big, poofy lavender dress and this furry, white, silky dress.
Finally, it's showtime. Garen struts down the runway with models twice her age, shocking the stars when they find out that she is only 12.
Oh my God. Have you seen her? Of course. Can you hear it in my voice? She's amazing.
See, what she has here is exactly what we're looking for in modeling. You know, you don't see a lot of people want the kids to be models, but they don't have this. Because she has that whole different look that can transform, but she's a kid.
12 years old. That's scary.
And although she looks like a grown-up, this young supermodel keeps it all in perspective.
I'm a kid all the time, except on the runway.
Believe it. So where did Garen learn to work the runway like that? She had no formal training. Well, her mother believes it was years of watching fashion shows on TV.
The Ripley's World Tour uncovers a village where males blame bad weather on the women. Bound in rope, performing grueling tasks. You won't believe the price they pay. Plus, she's got a rope 7 stories long that she can barely hold on to. But can this confident cowgirl spin the world's largest lasso? Her attempt to corral the record is next. Also, we head to the beach to find out what the world's best sandcastle builder is creating now.
I have never seen anything like this.
And will Mike Howard have the guts to go through with the world's only untethered balloon walk? We head back up to Kelly Packard when Ripley's returns. You're watching Ripley's Believe It or Not. Ripley's Unbelievable Acts.
Kimberly Mink is a wife, mother, and Idaho rancher. But in her free time, she has earned the title of Roping Queen of the World. And believe it or not, she'll try to set a new world record by spinning a lasso measuring an incredible 78 feet, nearly the length of a 7-story grain silo. As a little girl growing up in Oregon, Kimberly always dreamed of being a true rancher. Eventually, the cowgirl in her took over, and she began developing her skills at trick roping. Then Kimberly met her husband, Dan, the ultimate cowboy. And it was through Dan that she discovered her passion for roping.
She's tall and she's strong, and she's able to swing those ropes for a long period of time.
Kimberly became the 2-time women's big loop world record holder and holds the current record by spinning a lasso that used an amazing 76 feet of rope.
I was kind of the underdog going in, and I went in knowing that I could do more rope than the current world record, but not knowing if I was going to choke under pressure or not.
Today, Kimberly will attempt to break her own current world record. The average lasso requires only 25 feet of rope. And while spinning a lasso is no easy task, it will take nearly superhuman concentration and strength to spin 78 feet of it. Big enough to rope not 1, not 2, but 13 steer at one time. The rope has been marked to help measure the precise amount of twine being lassoed. In order to ensure a new world record, Kimberly must have complete control of the lasso when she passes the last marker. Slowly, Kimberly begins spinning her rope. As Kimberly continues to let out the lasso and increase the size, the pull of the centrifugal force tests her strength. Soon the rope's weight will be equivalent to swinging a 10-pound bowling ball.
Good, it's nice and even. Good, okay, speed it up. There's 40 feet.
As the rope whips through the air and the steer began to rustle, Kimberly hits the 50-foot marker. Nearly 60 feet of rope. The hoop is already massive and extremely hard to handle, but Kimberly continues to slowly let out more slack. Kimberly hits 75 feet, only 3 more to go. She's done it. 78 feet. An unbelievable act right off the range. Believe it.
We travel to India in tonight's Ripley's World Tour.
There's nothing like a bizarre cultural ritual to remind us of how far we've come as a society here in America. Ripley's found a place where the local women are blamed when it doesn't rain on the crops. And that's not even the unbelievable part of the story.
For 6 years, this tiny village in eastern India hasn't had a single drop of rain. So, as strange as it sounds, in an attempt to please the rain gods, every woman in town must work with their wrists bound in rope. This small farming community has always relied on rain for the development of their crops. But for the past 6 years, a severe drought has crippled this once lush village, transforming it into parched wasteland. And while most outsiders believe the problem is caused by a change in weather patterns, these villagers have another explanation. They blame the village women.
અહીંયાના લોકોની માન્યતા એવી છે કે અહીંયા કોઈ સ્ત્રીઓએ આવું કોઈ દુષ્કૃત્ય કર્યું હોય, કોઈ પાપ કર્યું હોય, એટલા માટે અહીંયા વરસાદ થતું નથી.
It's been months since the village women voluntarily chose to wrap their wrists in rope 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, hoping to pacify the gods by paying for their past mistakes and preventing any more in the future.
અને સમજો કોઈએ પાપ એવું કર્યું હોય, કોઈ દુષ્કૃત્ય કર્યું હોય, તો એમના પાપ ધોલાઈ જાય અને વરસાદ દેવતા અહીંયા વરસાદ મોકલાવે.
The women will be able to free their wrists once the rain gods bless them with water. But until then, remarkable women like Amina Tanu are able to perform daily tasks like preparing dinner, caring for the children, even doing complex embroidery, all with their wrists tied together. But if this sounds dreadful, it's tame compared to what follows. Because water is so sparse, the wrist-bound women must trek over 4 agonizing hours 3 times a week just to fill their pots for drinking water and cooking. They then have to carry the 50-pound containers back to their village in the blistering sun. As for the drought, the women continue to believe that this bizarre binding tactic will not only eventually bring their suffering village rain, but bring them very welcome and wet relief. Believe it.
Unbelievably, 7 days after our Ripley's crew left that village, it rained.
Next, she fell off a second-story staircase, only to get impaled through her torso. Wait till you hear what happened to the BB she had inside. Plus, Dean introduces the unbelievable new toy powered by bugs.
Now, you may have heard about a woman who was 8.5 months pregnant who fell off a balcony and was impaled by her own microphone stand. Well, tonight, Ripley's brings you the entire unbelievable story. Jessie Wickham was excited to be a mom again. Already the parent of 2, and in the 8th month of her pregnancy, it looked like everything was going great. But just 2 weeks before the 3rd baby was due, this young mother took a horrific fall that left her impaled through the chest by a microphone stand.
Dr. Wang, he was saying, you know, that it was like a shish kebab. I said, shish kebab? What do you mean by that? You know, shish kebab. You know, I thought it just took off a piece, you know, but it actually went through the front side and out the back.
Jessie, a musician in a rock band, lives on a beautiful lake in Michigan with her 2 kids and a 3rd baby on the way. Feeling great at 8.5 months pregnant, this single mom had just finished some laundry when she walked up the stairs to her loft with a full basket of clean clothes. But just moments later, the tragic accident happened. The railing collapsed.
We put the railing together and left the nails out.
Unfortunately, this construction project was never quite finished. Without thinking, Jessie leaned the laundry basket on the incomplete railing, and it snapped, sending Jessie and her unborn baby falling 12 feet to the ground.
I was expecting it to stop and bounce back, and when everything went forward, I just went with it.
Amazingly, Jessie, still conscious after the fall, was able to stand up, and it was then that she made a horrifying discovery.
When I got up, I was like, oh, the baby's fine. I looked down, and there's that microphone stand. I went to reach for it and pulled on it just out of reaction, and made that suction sound.
Unbelievably, a microphone stand that Jessie's band uses for rehearsals had sliced right through her chest and right out the other side. With only her 2 small children in the house, Jessie immediately instructs one of them to call 911.
I could hear sirens all the way around the lake, And I was like, you know, where are they? You know, I can hear them everywhere.
But before Jessie can be transported to the hospital, a piece of the microphone stand protruding out of her back is cut off so that the paramedics can lay her flat. Jessie is then airlifted to the University of Michigan Hospital, where doctors face a dire situation. Not one, but 2 lives are in grave danger. Surgeons immediately order an MRI and are shocked by what these actual images reveal. The microphone stand had pierced Jessie's body right through the chest cavity and was actually resting on a major blood vessel and Jessie's heart. She is rushed into emergency surgery to remove the mic stand, and after hours of surgery, it looks like Jessie is out of the woods. But what will happen to her baby? 2 days after removing the microphone stand, Jessie is still unconscious due to medication. Doctors advise that the infant be delivered via cesarean section because labor would be too dangerous in Jessie's delicate situation. When Jessie finally awakes, she realizes that she has luckily survived, but she's suddenly hit with a feeling of dread. Did her baby make it through this terrifying ordeal? Jessie's nurse walks in with the unbelievable news. Her baby is alive.
The nurses were saying, hey, there's your baby, you know. I had these big tubes down my throat, and I'd realized that I'd had the baby.
And Jessie is finally able to meet her son, Ryan Andrew Wickham, for the first time.
So he had the Band-Aid across under his nose, and he had the little air thing going on like I did, and it just made me feel like he was in my position. You know, it's worse watching a baby go through something like that.
These days, Jessie is recuperating, and now that some time has passed, she can more easily reflect on her close brush with death. Don't go away. Ripley's will be right back.
Next, this unique dog can cram itself into a Tupperware container. But it's just one of the pets trying to impress our judges as the Ravens cheerleader squad roots on America's most unbelievable animal. And he's known as the gutsiest skateboarder around. Now Danny Way may get his way and take home skateboarding's ultimate title. Be there when he goes for the wildest jump on wheels. Next. You're watching Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Take a look at this. It's no ordinary paper airplane. This is the latest in insect aviation. Yes, this is a fly-powered airplane. Each kit comes with instructions and paper for 2 planes. The toothpick is where you put the pilot. The trick is to glue the plane to the fly's belly so that after the flight you can just cut away the toothpick and the fly flies off to live out the rest of its 21 days. Now, putting the plane together is the easy part. Catching a fly is much harder. Why don't you take a look at this next story while I try to get one of these little pilots in the pilot seat.
The strangest pets in the nation turn out as Ripley searches coast to coast for America's most unbelievable animal.
The beach town of Ocean City, Maryland is this week's stop in Ripley's search for America's most unbelievable animal. And although it was a cloudy, gray day, the beautiful Baltimore Ravens cheerleaders were on hand to add some sunshine as this week's celebrity guest judges. There were those animals who were focused professionals.
My name is Ann Carmichael, and my dog's name is Tiki. And believe it or not, he is going to stalk his ball.
Hey! Hi, my name is Cheryl, and these are my 2 boys, Cody and Connor. Yes, these are my children. Are you hitting your brother? You are! Get on me, I can apologize. Big hug. Come in here, big hug.
One of the animals had the talents of a great escape artist, actually able to get herself out of a cage.
I'm gonna put you in the cage, Summer, and then you get out as fast as you can, okay? And then we're gonna compare your time to the bird's time. Okay, you ready? Go.
And there was one dog that just wanted to escape.
Hi, my name is Karen Johnson. My dog's name is Shotzi, and believe it or not, I can give her mouth to mouth and her teeth can pop up.
But in the end, it was Shebang the dog who had a strange talent for squeezing into the smallest containers that took home the Boardwalk's top honor.
Good puppy. Tammy, come here.
How about she gets in this one and I'll get in that one?
Now Ripley spends the day with the Ocean City pet that was voted most unbelievable animal. Shebang is an enthusiastic 4.5-year-old border collie who loves to run, jump, catch, and play. But believe it or not,
Shebang, get in the box.
Unlike other dogs, this playful pooch doesn't mind squeezing herself into a small box.
She likes to play keep away. Give me that back.
Tammy Rudd discovered her canine's love of containment while just goofing around.
Well, we were just playing around with the box. She stepped in it, and I got carried away and started to see if she could get in even a smaller box and a smaller box.
Shebang's unique four-legged box contorting talents garner attention from admirers wherever she goes.
They're either amazed or they think it's really funny. Usually nobody's prepared for seeing the dog get in that little of a box, and I think they're usually almost speechless.
And along with Shebang's unique ability to fit into very small boxes, she has squeezed herself right into Tammy's heart.
Shebang's the most special dog or animal I've ever had in my life. She's just the best. I'll never have a dog like her again.
Believe it. We'll be right back.
Next, the ramps are ready and cameras are rolling, hoping to capture skateboarding history in the making.
You gotta be precise or you're gonna get hurt.
Watch as extreme skating superstar Danny Way goes airborne, trying to shatter the all-time distance record without shattering his body. And Ripley's hits the beach to put the best sandcastle builder on Earth to the test. All the action is next, only on Ripley's.
Lucinda Waringa is so obsessed with the beach, her friends call her Sandy Feet, or just Sandy for short. Using the beach as her canvas and the sand as her medium, Sandy creates unbelievable works of art.
I do consider it art because I'm taking an idea that's in my head that nobody else has ever seen before and creating it in sand.
And for Ripley's, Sandy will create an amazing sand sculpture in just one afternoon. Sandy fell in love with the sand when she was just a kid. Later, she became a teacher, but then shocked her parents by quitting her job to pursue a lifelong dream.
When I called my parents and said that I was going to quit teaching school and become a sandcastle wizard, I think I could hear my mother scream all the way from Michigan.
But Mom didn't have to worry. Soon, Sandy was making big bucks, winning dozens of contests around the world. Today, with the clock running, Sandy begins work on the Ripley's Castle. The first step is making the sand stand by adding clay.
Unfortunately, not all sand is created that way, so we have little tricks that we can do to improve sand.
After an hour, Sandy has formed a base, and her castle begins taking shape. Next comes the tedious and time-consuming detail work. Some of these castles take days to create, but amazingly, after only 3 hours of shaping and carving, images begin to appear. From bridges and towers to characters and windows.
Since you're working with a material that is basically all one color, you're working with shadows. Shadows is what creates the detail. So it's cutting in the indentations, making things stand out.
After a total of 6 hours of non-stop sculpting, Sandy puts the finishing touches on this 8-foot masterpiece, complete with the Ripley's seal of approval. Bystanders can't help but be blown away.
That pile of sand transformed to that is truly miraculous.
I have never seen anything like this, ever. Not even in ice sculptures in Minnesota.
Believe it. Danny Way is a man on a skateboard with a mission to jump farther than any other person and claim a new world record. Well, they say records are made to be broken, but bones can snap even more easily. Ripley's was there for the attempt, and so are you. Skateboarder Danny Way has won dozens of contests in his 14 years as a pro boarder. But what he's about to attempt today has never been tried before. Believe it or not, Danny is going to try and land the longest skateboard jump in history at more than 60 feet.
I have so many ideas of things like this on this magnitude, but it's all just coordination, money, and time, and planning. So this is one of my fantasies right here, and now it's a reality.
Danny Way is a pretty typical family man, happiest when he's with his wife and 2 young sons. But as a professional skateboarder, Danny is always pushing the limits of his sport, and today's long jump is no exception. Preparations began a week ago for Danny's world record attempt, with his crew building this one-of-a-kind ramp in Temecula, California. Danny will launch himself down the massive 51-foot run-in. Then, building as much speed as possible, he'll attempt to fly past the old record of 59 feet. And while almost anyone can launch themselves off a ramp, the true skill comes in sticking the landing. No one even knows if it's possible to stick a jump this big.
You can be as comfortable as you think you can be, and then the next second you could fly off the side of the ramp. You always have in the back of your mind, the risk factor lingering.
Despite his concerns, Danny is determined to smash the previous record, and he's brought along his family to see him go for the biggest jump in history.
I can't wait till the day I'm watching him do this stuff, but it's cool. Like, when he gets older, it'll be cool to talk to him, and hopefully he'll remember these days, because my days are numbered as I get older. So it'll be cool one day when we get to look back, and hopefully he's doing the same thing I'm doing right now.
After months of preparation, everything is in place for Danny to go for the record. He heads to the top of the ramp and mentally prepares himself for the challenge of a lifetime. Staring down the massive run-in, he gets on his board and zooms toward the ramp. Incredibly, he clears the gap, but blows the landing.
That wind slowed me down so much in the air. I felt the wind take me back.
Danny is determined to make it, trying again and again, but he's not hitting his landings, and the wind conditions are holding him back.
The speed right now is an issue, big issue. Because I'm pumping, and like I said, the wind's slowing me down in the air.
Danny asks his crew to modify the ramp, adding a 4-foot extension to the top to give him even more speed as he enters the gap. Danny races down the ramp again. The extension gives him more distance, but once again he crashes on the landing.
Am I getting in the zone, or both my ankles are sprained?
Despite the excruciating pain and utter exhaustion, Danny does not want to give up. He goes for it one last time. Danny catches huge air and unbelievably sticks the landing, shattering the old world record with a 65-foot jump.
I went 65 feet. That's a bit bigger than anyone's gone, so I'll take it.
Even with 2 sprained ankles, Danny Way soars way past the old record by 6 feet, setting a new Ripley's world record for the longest skateboard jump in history.
My thoughts are, I'm happy to be alive. If I can walk and talk and have a smile on my face, I'm happy.
Don't jump out of your seat. Ripley's will be right back.
Still ahead, Mike Howard shocked the Ripley's crew when he decided to balance across a flimsy beam 1 mile in the sky without any safety gear.
Here we go, without the bar.
Now, find out if he has the courage to take the walk of death as Kelly Packard brings you an exclusive report on Ripley's next. Welcome back to Ripley's.
Now let's go back to Kelly Packard, who was floating somewhere over Akron, Ohio.
Just moments ago, Mike Howard began a death-defying skywalk between 2 hot air balloons. Walking across a beam only 5 inches wide and almost a mile in the sky, Mike shocked everyone by deciding to attempt it without a balance bar, his only lifeline in case of a fall. remember, he's doing this with no safety line, no parachute, no balance bar, nothing. And we are a mile in the air.
Come on, Mike. You're almost there, brother.
Absolutely elated. That's more concentration and more hard work than I've ever had to do before. That's just absolutely incredible.
You did it, and that was truly unbelievable. Mike Howard walked across this 5-inch beam, and you saw it only on Ripley's.
Welcome to the Ripley's Vault, where the most unusual items in our collection are displayed. This artifact happens to be just what it looks like, a dagger made from rare coins from 18th century China. Though it doesn't appear to be a deadly weapon, the warriors of Wu held these coins bound with string confidently when going into battle. And that's because these soldiers were magicians, and their foe was the devil. The art of Wu is the practice of exorcism, and this was the one thing they never left home without when called to exorcise a demon. Unbelievable? Believe it. Having trouble finding the hole?
That was the scariest thing I've ever done.
Only those with the guts.
All right, let's do this.
Win the glory. Factor. Back-to-back episodes starting next, only on Chiller. Scary Good.